Hey everyone, it's your favorite church girl. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Emily. I post biblical materials and resources to help you on your Bible study journey. I'm very grateful that you guys are here and I'm so excited to get into today's video. Today we're going to be talking about a Bible study method that I am just learning how to do, and I'm really hoping that you guys have not done it, so that you guys could do it with me. But if you guys have done it, then you guys can give me advice on what I can do to make this method better. So let's get into it. So for today's Bible study method, we will be doing a character study. Now, we will not be doing a tutorial today, but I want to give you a little bit of context. I want to give you a little bit of context as to why I believe character studies are incredibly important in your Bible study journey. Mind you, this is the first time I'm actively doing it Bible study form. I have observed and I have witnessed things reading the Bible, but this is the first time I'm doing like pen to paper Bible study, and it's the first time I'm applying this method as well. But back in 2021, I gave my life to Christ, and at this time, Sarah Jakes Roberts was really blowing up, and I mean really blowing up. And I think this was also around the time that she had preached her message, Girl Get Up. So, you know, I'm a very academic girly. I have always been. So I went to Barnes & Nobles and I bought her books. Like, I bought a couple of her books. And I remember the first book that I read from her was like her testimony. And then she had a book called Woman Evolve. And so when I grabbed the book, I was expecting it to be more testimony based or maybe like devotional based. I didn't really know what to expect. So when I grabbed the book, it really impacted my life, and it really showed me the importance of observing the characters in the Bible. If you have never read her book, I recommend it. So this book starts off, from what I remember, with Sarah observing these women at a women's conference. So this women conference had advised the women, or had asked the women to come to the conference wearing a t-shirt with a woman from the Bible that they resonated with. So she says in the book that some women had Ruth on their shirt, some had Deborah on her shirt, some had like Mary, some had like, you know, just all the women in the Bible that you could think of as like Proverbs 31, and like they're just examples in the Bible. And Sarah says that as she looked around, she realized that nobody had a shirt that said Eve. And that in her head, she was like, why would anybody have Eve? Like, you know, when she had the thought, she was like, of course nobody would have Eve. Like, she literally doomed us all and all this stuff. Like, she had beef with Eve or whatever. But then her heart was moved to compassion, and the book kind of expands on the character study of Eve that she actually did. And it impacted me so much. It was like one of those moments that made you realize that God really does have a heart for humanity, and that God is kind and God is gentle. The book is so amazing, and it gives you such a great perspective on Eve, and it gives you such a beautiful revelation of the heart of Jesus towards humanity. And all of this was born from Sarah taking the time to study the life of Eve and just the promises of God to her. And so that was something that impacted me back in 2021. Now, you would think I seen that and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to study every character in the Bible. I actually did the opposite. I just started to study Christ, his teachings, and I started to study Christology. You guys know that's my form of doing Bible study. I love doing Christology. Christology is just a way of saying that you're studying Christ in the scriptures. So everything you read, you look for Christ. So that's kind of what was born out of me in that moment. I thought it would, like, now I'm looking back and I'm like, why didn't I ever do a character study? But now I realize that Sarah's perspective was like the character of Eve and God's relationship with her. And I was just like, Jesus, like, and I was just like, let me study Jesus. Let me find him as much as I can, because that's what it motivated me to do. But now in this season of my life, I have learned the importance of slowing down with the characters in the Bible. For the past couple of months, the Lord has had me studying the life of David, which this is just like a little side note, but when I gave my life to Christ, I actually shared the gospel with my cousin. She's older. She kind of like raised me. she ended up giving her life to Christ. And ever since then, our life has always been like in sync. And I don't mean like our personal lives, but I mean our spiritual lives. And the Lord had drawn me to study the life of David, which I've never done before. Like I've always told everybody that, like, I'm just like a Jesus girly. Like, I'm always trying to find Jesus in the scriptures. But the Lord was showing me the importance of like slowing down with the characters. And so I was studying the life of David, and I was like in the beginning stages of like reading First Samuel. And I decided to call my cousin randomly, and I was talking to her, and she's like, this is weird. And I'm like, what? And she's like, I have chills, like I'm about to cry. And I'm like, girl, what is it? She literally ends up telling me that she was studying the life of David as well. And we just started sharing notes, and I was just like, oh my God, Lord, like, you're just so kind, like, to give us that moment. It was just a beautiful moment. And she actually revealed some deep stuff to me. I was like, oh girl, I had to write it down and really like sit with it. But I started to study the life of David. I was studying First and Second Samuel, and I was just undone. Like, when I tell y'all, I was like undone, because like I had studied the Psalms before. So I was just like, okay, but like it's one thing to like read the Psalms, and it's another to like know why the Psalm was written. And y'all, I was crying for weeks. Like, I was just a mess, and I couldn't think too much about it because I was just like a mess. I was a wreck. But it showed me the importance of actually sitting with the characters in the Bible and actually understanding their failures, their hopes, their dreams, like just really sitting with the person and realize, oh my goodness, like I share some of the qualities with this person. And particularly with my time with the Lord, when I was studying the life of David, one of the things that I genuinely was really, really struggling with was just God's sovereignty. And we can get into that another day. But one thing that David really taught me when I started to study his character just visually and reading about his life was that he trusted God no matter what. And when you read the life of David, his life was incredibly tragic. Like, I don't want to talk about it too much because I really do get emotional. Like, oh, he suffered. Like, he suffered so much, and he just loved God so much. He trusted the Lord with everything he had. And when you read the Psalms from that perspective, it really does change the way that you see people's loyalty towards the Lord. And it has helped me really learn how to trust the Lord even deeper. And so character studies are actually very important in our walk with the Lord. I personally believe it's such a beautiful thing to have certain struggles now in this day and age, and then read the scriptures and see that there are people in the Bible who have shared these struggles in a deeper capacity, or possibly just a little overview of what we struggle with as well. And I think that helps us to see God's nature and God's sovereignty over our lives, and also just his faithfulness in that we are allowed to be human. He doesn't condemn us for being human. And that has really, really impacted me. With all that being said, for the month of May, I would really love to do a step-by-step character study with each of you. Now, I don't want to tell you guys what character I'm choosing until the video of us doing our tutorial together, because I want to challenge you to find a biblical character to study in depth. I will say that my character is elite. I love him. There's a lot of biblical stuff on him. And just to give you a little hint, he wrote 4 books in the Bible. So I'm really excited to do the character study on him. And I will reveal who I have chosen when we do our step-by-step tutorial on how I did my character study. For my next video, on next week's video, I will be sharing with you the biblical materials and resources that I'll be using to complete the character study. So I would like to invite you all to come next week with your character already chosen. You're going to have biblical materials and resources to use, and then the following week we will be doing a tutorial together. So I hope that you guys take me up on this challenge, and I'm really, really excited to see what characters you guys choose. Also, I want to encourage you to not only focus on the good guy, because I also studied the life of Saul when I was studying the life of David, and I learned so much about God's sovereignty, his mercy, his kindness, all the things. So you don't have to pick like a good guy, you know, like you can find like a villain in the story and you will still see God's hand in it. So I am hoping that you guys are willing to take me up on this challenge and that you guys would join me in this character study. And I will see you guys next week. God bless you.